Hello, Porsche Files in cartoon form. Here we got some new brand that I've never seen called Mini Craftsman. And like anything else, it's made in China and it's not licensed either, like many things from that country. Not everything, you know, some people are legit over there, but there's a lot of anti-China YouTube videos. Sometimes I get sucked into them. And then I have to ask myself, what am I doing? And so I stop watching them. Okay, let's see here. So since I'm not going to buy a realistic version of this car, I might as well talk about this car a little bit. I'm reading Car and Driver here, and I read a car magazine as well. So this is a rear-wheel drive only track car, street legal track car pretty much. It was the third fastest Porsche to go around the Nürburgring, the third Porsche to break the 7-second barrier. So even though it's not all-wheel drive, it's also naturally aspirated with a little over 500 horsepower. So that's pretty impressive, you know, something with just rear-wheel drive, no turbo, and it can go around the Nürburgring in less than 7 minutes. So that's crazy. All right. So this cover's loose, and actually that's probably a good thing, so it doesn't just fall to the floor if you pick it up by the cover. We have this expensive acrylic base. A lot of these resin companies do this, but frankly I'd rather just have a molded base like an Inno64 and have a better model or a cheaper model. I don't need to have a bunch of expensive acrylic bases after this, not that. But it is nice, you know, you do have this nice photo etch piece. There's 300 of this green color, and it does tell you what the car is. Ideally it'd tell you the year. These images I'm looking up are like a 2018. So I think this... I don't know if this is an active... No, there's a new one out now. So this is the... I don't even remember if this is a 992? The whole nomenclature of 911s, I don't follow it. So all I know is this is like a 2018 model just based off of these vents and what's going on here. So yeah, looking at that, you can see the green in these photos is much darker and richer. This looks much more dull, lighter as well. Maybe this is a metallic paint. This looks metallic here. I don't know about these two. $200,000 car, I'm sure you can get many different colors, or maybe all custom colors. Okay, anyways, I couldn't find one with gold wheels on the side. But you can see they got the text, they got the color of the venting, the calipers are the right color. The wing side plates on this one are green. That one's black, but who knows, maybe you can get that stuff in different colors. Alright, big vent in the rear, two center pipes. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's supposed to be this car that they modeled. I gotta say, this is a lot bigger than your typical Q scale car. Usually they're supposed to be around 1/64 scale in width, but this thing is massive. This is like 32 millimeters across. So if you were to take the dimensions, the width of this car, and divide it by 32 millimeters, you would know what scale this is. I am not Rain Man, so I'm going to leave it to a commenter to maybe do the math. I'm too lazy. Alright, let's get into this here. Yeah, that's a nice wheel. I mean, the spokes are so thin and frail looking. These things are not meant to roll, by the way. These are only meant to sit still and look pretty. This is not meant to be played with. The tire is literally touching the body, so it's not going to roll anyways. So, if you tried to play with this, you'd probably break that wheel. It's so delicate. Anyways, the RS is in the middle, looks nice, painted black. I mean, that wheel is just fantastically done. I think it's 3D printed. I think you can see the step lines. So the caliper itself is very three-dimensional, obviously painted the proper color, as well as the hat being yellow. And then that photo etched piece of metal for the rotor, yes, you know, it's got showing the cross drilling, so that's very impressive. The tire is rounded. It's not just a slided chunk of rubbery material, so that's good. We do have like a metal piece, I think, for this side marker. It's probably got some clear resin on it also. You know what? This is a metallic paint. From a half an arm's length away, I can't see it. The flakes are so small. So that's... Yeah, I guess you can see it with the naked eye. Yeah, but this is magnified a little bit. Okay, so then we have that triple vent above the tire there, and it's possibly covered in, yeah, a carbon fiber decal. Hopefully that decal is on the clear coat, but I don't think it is. No, I don't think it is. Alright, the panel gap is nice and tight being a resin body. The separate mirror is nice and smooth, and there's a very effective reflector in there. Just reflecting the door as we look at it. The door handle, I guess, is good enough. Yeah, it's interesting. One image, the side image is color-coded like this. The other angled images is a black handle. So even the door handle, I guess, can come in different colors. And then I like how it does say GT3 RS there, all shrunken down in that decal. But there could be a big air pocket right there. I'm not going to mess with it. It'll crack. This base is plastic, probably, and like a separate piece of plastic, I'm thinking, though. I might be wrong, but it's like a matte black finish, and there's a little bit of a gap under it for some reason. Oh, it's maybe like a side skirt or something. Although on the side photo, I think it's... No, I guess it does go under a little bit. Never mind. Alright, so that vent here. This, I believe, shares the same body as the turbo. And the turbo, I guess these go feed the turbos, but in this car, they feed the airbox. I think this might be a separate piece, just because the separation of color is so good. And this is like a matte black, whereas this is a glossy. Alright, the rear wheel, brake, everything, well, it looks quite fantastic. Very nice. The side windows, they do have molding, photo etch black molding details on top of this, so that should hopefully keep it in place. I'm hoping it doesn't pop loose. Yeah, very thin plastic, so you can literally see, let me focus, see right through the other side where molded windows won't give you that. But I actually kind of now, I'm starting to prefer molded. I do prefer molded windows because they'll never pop loose. Alright, well, the top of the hood, it's kind of sad that there's no black paint in those vents. You would think that they would put a little dab of paint in there. Those Nakaducks. The Porsche, you know what, this angle just isn't working right. Hold on here. I think that might be a better angle. Yeah, not the greatest Porsche crest, but you can kind of make it out. It looks similar. It's nice that they have this black detail here. I have a suspicion that's an actual decal. And then the front grills here. Yeah, very nice. Photo etch metal pieces. Let me find a flashlight. There's definitely air passing behind those grills, but I don't actually see any details behind the grills. I don't think there's a radiator there. Yeah, seems awfully dark, but that's, I guess, fine. But see, at the leading top edge of this grill, there's that plastic piece that I guess is holding the some sort of running lights or possibly the turn signals. It's like but you really can't make it out on this model, but I can see it in the front photograph. Alrighty, again, the paint looking very smooth, very fantastic, no imperfections yet. So the headlight buckets here, nice gluing of the transparent lens. I don't see any splotchiness really, nothing too bad. And then it looks like we have two photo etch pieces representing those headlights. I don't know if there's resin on them or not. Maybe, nah, I don't think so. But yeah, it's a molded light bucket with two pieces of metal there, so that's cool. This side of the car, yeah, looks pretty nice. If I were to nitpick, maybe this wheel could be a little more forward. It's really tight here, but gappy there. I'm too lazy to take it off the base and try to correct it. Alright, so back here we do have a little bit of black even in this tiny vent. I think that's a separate piece, but there's no grill texture. Maybe on the real car it's just open. The taillights look nice, translucent red, but there's a little stripe here. I don't know if there's a decal, this silver bit. It looks good, whatever it is. Now this is, yeah, that decal sadly is on top. Now this is kind of lame. There's no license plate. Would have been cool to have a plate saying Porsche maybe, or even the brand of the company that made this. These tubes I think are real metal. They're very round, pretty thin, deep as well. I think they may have, yeah, I think it looks like it was cut. This paint is really impressive. Okay, here we have a separate piece with this grill texture, and then nice thin metal edged struts holding this green, and you have a decal for that. So looking through the rear, well, first we have this black area here, but then we have a color matched roll cage back there, and then the rear window has the blackout on the inside printed. The windshield here, boy, it's hard to focus on something so shiny, but it looks like we have the blackout again printed on the back side, those sensor areas. Would have been cool if they left a little open so it looked like a real sensor opening. This has, oh no, it does have wiper blades. They're actually bent perpendicular to the windscreen, two of them. I almost missed them, they're so thin, but they're there. Yeah, see, you can see, very cool. Now, yeah, we got the dashboard. It's a matte black, looking good. The steering wheel, I don't see any turn signal or stalks on it. Other brands might get that. Definitely with the realistic models. I'm not sure, I can't remember with the cartoon versions. Some sort of detail there in the center console. It's really well done. I'm gonna guess as a decal because it's so detailed. Let's get the flashlight going in there. Hold on a second. Now I don't know if this is gonna work. This is the first time I'm trying this. So we have a hobby vise, and then I have a giant, like, YouTuber, like, glamour light of some sort of photography, video, vlogging light, I think they're called. So now if I turn this on, maybe I can actually get the light angle, not have it all wobbly. So if the light's coming in from that side, now if I move the camera down, let's see if I can get into that interior. Oh boy. Well, so far so good. Yeah, but still, it does look like there's maybe decals. Let's see if I can get some light from somewhere else. Maybe it's the floodlight. Maybe it's not a good idea. Hold on, I'm gonna move that away and just use this flashlight, but leave the... Alright, so... yeah, I think I am gonna have to hold the flashlight at all times. These windows are so small on these cars, it's hard to get the light into their correct angle. So the steering wheel does look fantastic, the open holes, and then it looks like there's a crest on the middle, and then that instrument cluster is a decal with some nice gauges of different colors, yellow and white, yellow needle, very cool. Alright, what's else on the dashboard? Can't see much else on the passenger side. There's probably no glove box if this is like a race car. I think it has a gutted interior, like there's no sound insulation kind of thing. Trying to lose weight for racing. Boy, that window's so short. I'm trying to see the door panel. I don't know if we can. Alright, yeah, it's a plain gutted door panel. The seats, they have a little red in the top. I'm not sure why. Molded interestingly enough. They look very narrow though. I don't know why they would make the seats that narrow when the interior is that wide. There is a rear view mirror, by the way. It is molded plastic. It's not just a thin piece of metal. Yeah, that roll cage detail looks alright up there. Well, you know what? Maybe that's a decal on the seats. Yeah, it's a decal, but I have no idea what that would say. I don't know if that's a seat brand, or if it has something to do with this being a GT3 RS. Beats me. What sort of switches there? I wonder if it has foot pedals. I don't know, this interior is so short. That might be the only way we could see. Can we see? I might have to brighten it up even further. We're going to full 200 lumens. I can't get the angle. I don't think there's pedals, but it doesn't matter. If you can't physically get the line of sight in there, that's fine. Yeah, look at this roll cage though. There's a lot of funky bars crossing, mounting to the floor, mounting to the B-pillars, and then finally in the back. Alright, so that's a pretty good interior. You gotta remember, this is a shrunken down car, so pretty impressive actually. Alright, let's look at a few other Porsches. So the standard is a Choro-Q, so you'll see here the width of that is similar, I would say, to a 64 scale car. Just for fun, here's a Hot Wheels of the Porsche, I think it was a 964. I 3D printed my own wheels though. And even that looks like it could be 164 scale. Yeah, granted this is a more modern, larger 911, but it's just no way it's that big compared to those as far as if you're trying to have a realistic display of cartoon cars. Let's see, Little Egg. We have this old one. It says Rough Rhythm, but I don't think that's the name of this car. It's got a Martini livery, cool metalish centers, silly train. I don't like those defroster lines though. And that rear window is kind of wavy. I don't know if it's starting to pop loose. Not a fan. But it does have an interior. It does have wiper blades. It's a resin model, cartooned. But I mean, look at the difference. Ignoring the wide body, look how narrow this is compared to that. Naturally, it's easier to make a bigger model, so that's maybe why this thing is, you know, bigger than usual. There is this Porsche done by Faruya and Yu and Car, so that's bigger than this Little Egg also, but still not as big as this. But I think this could be a 993, so this actually could be more realistic for a cartoon display, because a 993 is actually a pretty small car by today's standards. Yeah, I think it's just these two, well, these three I would say are out. So speaking of larger cars that fit inside a standard 64 scale base, this is by Mini Racing, F1 cars. I think you can still find these on AliExpress. F1 cars are huge these days, so these two actually kind of make sense, I think. Yeah, I guess those could display nicely together. The number one tuned car right now is this, by YM Model, of this 499p. This thing has so many parts, and I don't recall complaining about anything on this. I think it was perfectly executed, but you'll have to look up the review. It's just awesome. It is awesome. So if I have to have a bigger car than a Choro-Q to get that kind of detail, I'm cool with it. As long as it doesn't exceed the size of your standard 164 scale case, because you know you want to stack that stuff up. So just to show you again, the Choro-Q, look how small it is. Yeah, these things are just, they're much longer, they're much wider, but you can fit more parts. This is really the best cute car you can get right now. But I gotta say, this is actually very impressive. I'm very happy I got this. I don't think there was anything wrong. Was there? Did I complain about anything? Nothing major that I can recall. I think I just complained about the actual car in real life, having those plastic panels. But as far as a miniature cartoon version of the real life car, this is absolutely stellar. So if you can find one, you know, go ahead. I think there's also a silver and black one I'm going to try to track down. But one problem about me doing these videos is we're all starting to compete against each other, I think, to maybe get the same models. So, but happy hunting, I guess. I'm lucky I actually have dealers. In Asia, we love these cute car things. I don't think in America it's a thing, but here, they're quite popular, Choro-Qs and everything like it. So a lot of dealers actually order these things in. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next cute car video. Bye.